There's no better feeling than a personal win, and the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you do just that. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
And now, live from the TCL Broadcast Studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Hey, the temporary, yes.
Tell me about this kid who's pitching tonight.
He's a long, lanky left-hander named Steven Gonsalves, who they thought, I think he was a fourth rounder.
I just like to, thank myself.
I didn't mean to hit that.
But they, when they brought Cole Stewart in as as the fourth overall pick in 2013, they gave this kid a lot of money to sign more than those players got because he was intent on going to college, and they brought him in with Stewart. They were proud enough of getting him a tall lefty. It's taken him a while because he's, even though he's got real good stuff, he's kind of a nibbler. Mm-hmm. He tries to make that perfect pitch on the outside corner. Walks too many guys, but he doesn't go 7-8 innings too often, but he does get people out. I think he's a better prospect now than the Cole Stewart who they've given 2 starts to, for sure.
So this could either be the start of a great career or he could be sent back and forth a few times. Yeah.
Well, I think he'll be here the rest of this year.
Yeah.
Santana's said no thank you. Irv kind of gave them their money's worth last year and said, the hell with it, I got a bad finger here. So he's done.
He's been a terrible disappointment.
This year certainly has.
I mean, his attitude's a terrible disappointment.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a lot of fire, it doesn't seem like. But, again, he stinks. He can't. I don't think he's.
Well, he was ripping the club. I guess I was, too,
yeah.
for what they did. But he's the guy who took 6 months to cure a finger.
Yes, but I will say in his defense, he's not intentionally only throwing 89 or 90 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
He would like to throw 94 like he did last year, but it's not there. So it's kind of like Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes didn't go from 94 or 5 to 89 or 90 because he wanted to. Yeah. It just physically wasn't there.
Well, what's Santana's future with this club?
Non-existent? Zero. He's done. They have to give him $1 million to go away.
And then he's a free agent. Yes.
Mm-hmm. We keep saying it's unlikely. No, it's not unlikely that they won't pick up his option. It is 100% guaranteed they won't pick up his option.
Mm-hmm.
So they got him, they got Stewart, they got this kid, they got Stewart, and they got Fernando Romero down at Rochester. And September 1st, when the rosters expand, I wouldn't be surprised if they have all 3 of them pitching in the rotation, and they might end up going to a 6-man rotation. For September. Molitor kind of hinted at that today. So,
how much trouble are the Vikings in without an offensive line?
Well, we aren't sure they don't have an offensive line. They've lost only one of those guys officially. Apparently, the center Elfline's going to be back. Remmers is going to be back. He is back practicing. The right guard. They need a left guard, and Rashad Hill, the right tackle, is a. He didn't play all that bad last year until he got to Philadelphia and he got overwhelmed.
Reavers experienced digital ticketing.
How'd you like it?
Doesn't work.
I got there early enough where it wasn't an issue, but
I got news for the Viking fans. If you aren't there by about 11:30, you ain't seeing kickoff.
Well, they said that it was everybody. The reports were there were no complications, but then again, those reports came from the Vikings,
right?
Who would not tell you the truth,
or the station that has them. Yeah, they're never going to say anything bad about it. I left at 12:20,
and
why
does it take longer?
Well, because you're using it on your phone instead. I
know.
So
I'm trying to
Pat, I'm trying to explain to you. If you've got it on your phone and you're with 5 people, everybody has to enter on your device. So if you're a season ticket holder with six tickets, everybody's got to come in on yours, and it's just going to be
because you have to stop and swipe.
Exactly.
And
Not every person has their own
ticket.
ticket. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And this was done for what reason? What's the rationale?
Well, I would guess the Vikings aren't the first team to do this, but they want everybody to download their app.
And download their app, and B, it makes it harder to operate on the secondary market.
Correct. Yes.
The ticket kings of the world can still get you tickets, but it's more complicated.
And now
it's more complicated.
If, for instance, there's a website, Joe, called the Ticket Exchange, which is operated by the NFL. And if you're a season ticket holder, you can sell your tickets on that account, but then the NFL then gets a service fee on top of the fee you already have paid as a season ticket holder.
Well, they can sell it on these other accounts too, but that's, it's
a little bit more complicated. Yep.
Yes.
It sounds terribly confusing to me that I would be buying something that showed up on my phone.
I got a hunch next year the Twins will probably be doing the same thing.
Yeah, well, the Timberwolves started this a couple of years ago. They used that flash seats.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
I disagree.
What happens if it doesn't work?
Or your phone dies.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a disaster because now you're talking about, instead of at a Twins game, 15,000 people, you're talking 60,000 plus for every home game this year.
They're saying paper free and more convenient, but they don't want to print tickets that are cheap.
Yeah.
And they don't want to, if I want Ticket King to sell my tickets and I live in town, you can do two things. You can have them print them out, or you can, print them out on paper and then you can give it to them, or you can just go down there and hand them your tickets and then they can hand them to somebody else. So it's
just think there's going to be a generation of kids coming along who will never hold a ticket.
That's right.
I'm sure this will happen in movie theaters too.
It's going to be hard to have a scrapbook, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was at the.
Yes, here's my phone.
I was at the 1965 All-Star game. Picture of me holding my thing. I don't know.
Well, this is going to be the way everything will go.
Oh yes, it's going concerts everywhere. Yeah, are concerts doing it already?
I know I attended a show where I had to use my phone. I had to download it. It might have been a Ticketmaster app. I can't recall.
What if I'm 72 and grumpy and don't own a phone? I cannot buy a ticket.
You better get a
can't
family
go to
member.
any games.
I can never go to a game, huh?
Yeah. What's this do to the guys who are 72 grumpy and have a flip phone?
Ooh.
Can you put an app on a flip phone?
I don't
know. I don't think so.
You're going to be waiting a while for that download. I can tell you this, though, as well. It's going to, this new technology. I have a friend that works at the airport, and when people put multiple, just bring your paper boarding pass. Don't put it on your phone. He informs me that when there's a family, it's beep, you got to slide it. Beep, oh, wait, it went away. I got to pull it up on my email.
Here's Lucy's
ticket. It's extremely frustrating for those that work in the industry.
Can't I just print a boarding pass?
Yes.
That is what I recommend. That is what my friend that works at the airport recommends that you do.
Yeah.
Well,
paper.
So what happens is, if it disappears, you got to go through the whole process again.
And they lose it in their email, and it brings everything to a halt. And people are trying to get everybody boarded up on time. So
luckily, I'm a very patient guy. If I get behind somebody like that in the line, I really.
Why is that on your phone?
That won't bother you much.
No, God, no. I'd take it well.
You're going to just tell the gate clerk, hey, just take this person.
That's why I say. That's why I say, regulate airlines again. Make it too damn expensive for children to fly. America was a better place when families drove to Disney World.
I agree. John?
Yes. I just wanted, I'm one of those guys. I'm 78 years old. I've had tickets to St. John's football for over 25 years, season tickets. I'm on the 50 or 45-yard line. And they told me they're going electronic tickets. I'm out of business. I can't even go to a game. It isn't funny.
No.
It isn't funny. Well, I mean, that's the problem. And, if you buy tickets and you want to give them to your kids or your family or friends, somebody, they got something, a lot of these are, us guys, our old guys, we don't have any of those fancy phones and stuff. And I don't have one. And so, anyway, just want to let you know.
I'm with you, John.
Thank you.
Call up Gallardi. He'll get you in.
Okay.
All right.
That guy was serious.
He was.
He's not gonna go to a
He's
game.
gone to the Johnnies forever. He can't go to the game. They could win the national championship. He can't be there. Why would St. John's do that? What a bunch of weenie heads.
Are St. John's and St. Thomas doing a Target field game again?
No, that was a St. Thomas home game. The Johnnies say, you come up to Collegeville, we'll play up there. So,
all right. Just a moment, please. Here's what you got to hear. Yep. Why did the Vikings, by the way, play a noon game?
it must have been national. Was it national TV? Was it some kind of TV? What was the deal?
I don't think so. I think it was on the regular 9.
They had to have something.
Because they had
to
what's his name doing the call, the simulcast.
Okay. It had to. Must have been maybe national TV doesn't want you to be on opposite them or some damn
Could
thing.
be.
I don't know what it was. It was weird. I can never recall a Saturday noon exhibition game. Un-American.
I was sent by the chief offsite correspondent, Kelsey, a maddening thing. It's a golf salary calculator. And you type in, you see that, Reeves?
Yes.
You type in what you make per year, and then you select a golfer, and it'll tell you how many shots he has to take to make what you make in a year.
That's hurtful.
That's
Kenny.
hurtful.
That is not.
I think
fair.
Tiger was able to do my salary in 8 shots.
That is just not fair.
He was able to do mine in considerably under 300. It could drive you crazy.
It's
type
hurtful
in
is what
Snedeker.
it is.
Type in Snedeker this week. He shot a 59 Friday or whatever day he did it.
Well, yeah, that is sadistic. That's for sure. I never heard of that one. That's okay. I hope that golf tournament we get here next July doesn't have a field like that. God Almighty, was that brutal?
What, the Wyndham?
Greensboro.
Yeah.
Terrible. What a terrible golf course. I mean, it's a great old golf course.
Yeah.
But it's not equipped to play for these guys. Sedgefield is a great old country club. It'd be like playing at Interlaken now. You can.
They've outgrown those courses.
You can't leave
they?
the property.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that was brutal to say the least.
What's coming up this weekend? The start of the FedEx playoffs?
Yes. Yeah, they're right into them. They got through the last year. They have 3 playoffs. They only have 2 before the Tour Championship starting next year. They go from 125 to 70 to 30. This year they go from 125 to 100 to 70.
All right.
So there's a extra one of those this year, but next year there's only 2 of them.
Did you want me to take line 2, Reeves?
Nope.
All right.
The Faribault Lakers advanced handily in the state amateur tournament thanks to the pitch and preacher.
Well, I wouldn't say handily. It was only a 2-0 victory.
Who'd you beat?
We beat Stewartville Racine last night in
What are you, the ball
Shakopee.
boy now, or are you still playing?
No, I don't play
First
anymore. I'm
base
just
coach, co-manager. General complainer to the umpires.
We had one of those yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, we did.
Did you go out on the field?
No, I stayed in my box.
Okay.
I learned my lesson from last year.
Last time I saw you, you were out on the field chasing some guy.
Still can't believe I wasn't ejected.
In Hampton that day.
No,
Do you have to wear the uniform? I mean,
hamburger.
Let me rephrase that. Do you get to wear the uniform?
I
Chris?
do, and it's funny, Kenny, because every jersey I have has the belly in it. It's really weird. I don't know how I keep getting that same jersey. But I tell you what, boys, the 2 parks that are hosting this year, well, along with Jordan, my God, have they done a great
Shakopee's
job.
nice too, huh?
Oh, the field is just glorious.
Where was yesterday's game?
We played down in Shakopee. The main site is in New Prague. They spent over $1 million renovating that ballpark.
Who
It's
pays
just
for it?
gorgeous.
The taxpayers?
You got it, sir.
You do, Suchi boy.
I don't think down there I did.
No, you didn't.
In New
No,
Prague
they
and
came up
Shakopee.
here and grabbed some of your money.
In New Prague and Shakopee, it's a high school, the school district too. They run the thing.
Yeah.
So
But I tell you what, so Next Sunday, Pat, you'll love this. They have 4 games at New Prague. Newmarket plays the first game. New Prague plays the second. We play the third, and Belle Plaine plays the fourth. They will shatter the attendance record in a one-day event.
I bet. Wow.
I think my Milroy Yankees are there.
They had
for
a bye.
one of those games.
Yeah, they had a bye.
I think they're playing.
They
down
play
there, too.
Saturday, I believe.
What
in New
league
Prague.
is this?
This is the state amateur baseball tournament, town team ball. This is Class B and C is in Shakopee, New Prague, and Jordan. And Class A is the inside the 694, 494 belt is Class A, and they always play it over at Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington, and it's already over. St. Louis Park upset the troops and knocked off the Minnetonka Millers, who had won 3 straight state titles.
Are these aspiring college players, or are they losers like Reavers?
They're all ex, right?
Yeah. Well, some of them are in college. You come home and play in the summer.
They're all Uncle Rico. All of them. Every single one of them.
That is Kenny Olson, not Chris Reavers.
Now, talk about these class differences. Now, if one of these teams inside the Beltway went out to take on Chris's team, what would it be? Would carnage ensue?
Not necessarily. Depend upon which team it was.
And you can play a regular season game against one another. That's totally fine. It's just when it comes to tournament play, you have to play in your designated class.
The main reason they did this is there's a place, Dick's Place was a Minneapolis team. And they went out and won a couple of. They had a 1-class state tournament a couple of years in the 70s. They went out and won 2 years in a row, and nobody came to the games because there's no following.
Right.
So basically, it's based on attendance. They want the state baseball board wants people to come to the games. If they get a bunch of Minneapolis teams in there and they're playing the tournament in Delano or something, nobody's going to come to the games.
Which state team is the best attended?
Oh, it's hard to know. There's no way to tell that. Depends on how you go.
A lot of these teams, though, Joe, have a great following. Well, I'll tell you what, we played after Maple Lake yesterday. Maple Lake brought a lot of people down to Shakopee for that game. Holy cow.
That's pretty close, actually.
I was talking to one of the leaders of the Midway Snurdbirds today, who are in the state tournament, and they got a bye because they won their region, but they have mighty Maple Lake next week in their little word.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Maple Lake's real good.
Yes, they are. The kid that threw for Maple Lake yesterday was really good.
Some of these ballparks are just fantastic.
They're phenomenal.
Well, remember we had Todd Mueller in, didn't he do that? The ballpark book? Yeah.
Somebody told me Dundas is spending a ton of money to fix it up for next for when they host the state tournament with you.
Yeah, they are. They're going to do a perimeter fence. They're going to do some stuff down their third base line, and that park is already great. But they're going to put more money into it so they can host more events.
Kenny Dundas is used to play in the Burnt Orange. Do they still play in the Burnt Orange?
Oh yeah,
they played in the Burnt Orange, and in the 70s and 80s. They got a kind of a small ballpark, and they rivers running behind there, and they used to hit the balls in the river. But they averaged about 270. It was the damnedest sized team.
They were some big boys,
just big sluggers, man.
They're dressed in orange,
and they big orange. They look like just the world's largest Cheetos. It was unbelievable. And the famous thing, I've said this 100 times, but they were redoing the grandstand. And all the boards were laying in a pile, and some opponent comes up and says, "What'd you do? Take a team picture, boys?"
Just lumber everywhere.
Yeah, it's amazing Minnesota phenomenon. I think we have more teams than any state in the union.
Yeah,
really? Town teams. Yeah,
this has always been a big deal in the town I'm from. Always, for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you need some sort of excitement
up there. It costs you $2.50 for a beer, $2 for a beer.
And when you can sit on the hood of your car right next to the dugout on the first or third baseline, it's just that's America.
Hurl insults at the first base coach.
Yes.
You got your arms slung over your girl.
Yeah.
Huh? Your overalls on.
Sports Talk will return shortly.
Barefoot.
Now, thanks to our great friends in Owatonna, Minnesota, at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business, and nobody does that better than Federated. It's Bruce Vail, And your money now.
Well, stocks posted gains to start the week with the Dow Jones Industrial Average moving close to a 6.5-month high. We're slowly coming back from the early year highs. The Dow gained 89 points, closing at 25,758. The Nasdaq Composite added 4 points. The S&P 500 picked up 6. Walmart is eyeing virtual reality as a way to get more people into its stores without having them actually step foot in the store. The company has applied for 2 patents that detail a virtual showroom and fulfillment system that would connect shoppers sitting at home wearing virtual reality headsets and sensor gloves to a 3-dimensional representation of a store. Customers could wander the digital aisles and grab items which would immediately be picked and shipped from a distribution center. JCPenney is launching an exclusive big and tall brand with Shaquille O'Neal that will feature men's clothing and accessories. Shaquille O'Neal XLG will include 60 items like shirts, ties, and belts, sport coats up to size 64, and belts to 4XL. Shaq became a JCPenney big and tall brand ambassador back in March. I'm Bruce Vail with your money now on 1500 ESPN.
Okay, Bruce, we thank you very much. We'll let you go. Check traffic here, and let's, like usual, kick it between the downtowns. We're eastbound 94 seeing a fantastic travel time. 10 minutes there is the time to beat. If you're westbound between, a little thicker, 14 minutes from downtown St. Paul over to downtown Minneapolis. You can blame that construction zone in downtown Minneapolis for those delays. The slow stuff does kick in right around Riverside or so. Our 5 Eyewitness News forecast, Dave Dahl says clearing skies, 61 degrees tonight, then partly sunny, 70.
Greatest hits, 36 million. It was at 38, I forgot. A lot of records anyway.
There's talk on the street.
But this isn't
so familiar.
This isn't the live hits album or the greatest hits album.
No.
This is live from 77.
How come you can never find the right song? I mean, every single time.
Here we go.
What would have been better? Like
A studio recording from the album we talked about, you dunderhead.
Okay, so something like this maybe. Let's see. How about
Name calling?
That's live
the
too,
Arizona song, right?
That's a live song.
Flagstaff, Arizona.
Yeah. Don't they hold the attendance record for Metropolitan Stadium?
I don't know. I like them a lot better since watching the documentary and finding out really how much they hated each
How
other.
dysfunctional they were.
Doesn't that just fill your heart with joy? It just makes me so
you
happy.
can just go out there and perform knowing you want to stab the other guy in the
Can't even look at each other. You
And they
hate each other.
and they come in their separate limos.
Yes.
They can't even ride together.
That is fantastic.
Men have better sex with women who are emotionally unstable, according to a new study.
Well, that's telling you to go to the no-go zone.
Exactly. And women apparently prefer men who are less agreeable but pay attention to detail. This is all part of a
Nice shirt.
all part of a German survey of 1,000 people. We already
How
know
you doing, pal?
lead researcher Julia Belton.
Anyone in there looking for fat and bald?
And sleepy.
Lead researcher Julia Velton and her colleagues interviewed each volunteer about their sex lives, personality, and sexual function. For women, that included sexual desire, satisfaction, arousal, and orgasm. And for men, erectile function, desire, satisfaction, and orgasm.
Why is this a story?
It's
a study.
New study.
Oh, who studied this?
John, is there,
We all
any,
do. A German group.
is there any figure or number there on how many guys just want to go out and mow the lawn instead?
No, nothing about that at all. They did find men whose partners had less emotional stability reported better sexual function, while lower agreeableness of a sexual partner
In
was
other words, you'd never know what you're getting into.
yeah, kind of predictive of better sexual function in women.
I have your figure, Mr. Mayor. August 1st, 1978, the Eagles with Steve Miller Band as their opening act, 65,000 at Metropolitan Stadium. Can this be right? They only had 25,000 there for the Beatles?
That can be right.
Well,
you
'cause
could
the
walk up
Beatles-
and buy a ticket.
Well, the
can tell you
Beatles
why.
just came up and they had as Joe said, they had a Montgomery Ward sound system, and yeah.
Mediocre songs.
Plus, we were a bunch of cheapos.
That's true.
Olson.
And
I'm coming over there.
there were protests too, right?
Not
Here?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, there weren't?
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think so.
What were we protesting? That they
Their
needed
haircuts
haircuts
or some stupid thing.
State police in Connecticut usually pull over cars for driving too fast, but yesterday, troopers had to stop and ticket 10 cars for going too slow.
Minnesota plates on them?
No, they were racing-type cars. Police received several calls from angry motorists about what they described as high-performance racing-type cars slowing traffic to a crawl on the Wilbur Cross Parkway in New Haven and Hamden, Connecticut. Police say the lead car was filming the other cars, which were blocking all lanes of traffic so no other vehicles could pass. All 10 vehicles eventually pulled over. The drivers were all issued infractions for blocking traffic. Drivers who had been stuck in the backup thanked troopers verbally and by honking their horns when they were able to pass.
Is there an explanation here beyond the filming?
Just the filming is the only explanation.
That's
Boy,
news ain't what it's not good enough. We're going to need you to do more, John.
Somebody, about eight different guys should have got out.
Come on, John. Keep it together. Keep it together, Johnny.
I think I understand.
8 different guys should have got out and keyed them.
So much hate in that statement, Patrick.
A mail carrier in Missouri was sent running after discovering a large snake wrapped around a resident's mailbox. It was a ball python.
I saw a picture of it. That one ran too.
Yeah, it was gigantic.
Those are not native to Missouri.
They are not. Police spokesman Officer John Lacey told the Kansas City Star that the mail carrier called Animal Control after making the discovery did not leave the mail. It took 3 animal control officers to corral the snake. Lacey said the snake was likely an escaped pet, would be returned to its owner if reported missing.
So you can't just cut it in half or put a bullet in it?
So, no.
I see Craigslist. Lost serpent.
Did you see the joys of owning property in Fort Myers now include the stinkiest beaches in the world?
Yep. Yeah.
The red tide of red tide. We're miles away, but
I think you're getting a little taste in Fort Myers, but if you get closer to Marco, it's better.
Doesn't that
you can
kill,
swim in it?
Doesn't that kill everything in its wake?
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's fish everywhere.
They got dead dolphins up on the beach because it's so bad. The oceans are getting warmer, but we don't care.
A 72-year-old.
Let's correct that.
I tried to
the
move
red
on.
tide is as old as the Earth.
Yes, but it's not. This is also the most severe they've seen.
Well, and also you have more agricultural runoff than you've ever had.
It seems like something that global warming would cause.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually,
that's what I was hinting at.
That's why I'm trying to set the record
water's
straight.
like boiling.
Pretty sure it's global warming.
I tried to move on quickly, but it didn't work. A 72-year-old man has been arrested. 72 years
You
old.
get the red tide in your pool down there at your estate.
You got like a
your side of thinking.
Hey, we got the red tide. Just ignore it.
Hey, Moses, quit turning everything red.
We want some 8-year-old kid to wash up on shore.
No, we don't.
Red tide.
Hey, throw me that dead dolphin.
I've tried twice now to do this story, but
I know some people who went down there 2 weeks ago, and they went to a restaurant on the beach, and everyone there was coughing.
Yeah,
it makes you cough.
Yeah.
Maybe if you didn't smoke cigars, you wouldn't cough, Joe.
Wasn't me.
We had these people, Corey, who opened an ice cream store down on the beach. They sold out. They moved down to the beach, and
I saw this in the paper.
Their revenue last week was $5. They finally closed it.
I'll do that story tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
You can kind of sit on it for tomorrow. Okay.
Oh, look at the time.
God almighty.
Nice.
What do you got coming up on the ride?
Courtney Cronin, who covers the Vikings for ESPN.com, will be with us to talk about the Vikings making their decision on a kicker and other matters. And then Bob Ryan from the Boston Globe talking to him about the Boston Red Sox being 50 games over 500 and whether there's any tales of caution that can be relayed to younger Red Sox fans who think that everything is just wonderful. So
How about those Oakland A's?
boy, are they feisty.
Wow.
Well, Houston finally beat them yesterday to get a game back ahead, but they have come out of nowhere. They were supposed to be terrible. They might win the World Series.
They're drawing some nice crowds,
yes,
too.
they're funny, though. They'll get 10,000, then on the weekend they'll get 50.
Right.
So it's a strange thing, but hey, good for them.
1500 ESPN is KSTP St. Paul, Minneapolis. It's, I don't know,
78.
78 degrees. The ride is next.